Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Today we get to know the new athletic director here at Troy University, John Hartwell. John, thanks for joining me here today.
Sure, thanks for having me on, Aaron.
And as I mentioned, the new athletic director just started this week. First off, how are you feeling about your time here at Troy University so far?
Very excited about it. You know, it's been kind of a whirlwind. I guess a little over 2 weeks ago, was named to the position. Came over for about a 48-hour window for the press conference, and actually got to stay for the Mississippi State football game. And you know, the 2 week period between being here then and actually getting started, I told our staff this morning was. You know, there was a little anxiety in there because I was so anxious to get started and roll up my sleeves, and you know, got to town Sunday after going to Mobile for the football game against South Alabama, and you know, it's been kind of a whirlwind since then, but in a very good way. The analogy I've used, and I am not original to this at all, but is drinking through a fire hose. I mean, just trying to absorb all I can. But you know, the folks have been great. The attitude of everyone, you know, very eager to help take us to that next level. And so, you know, I'm excited to get started. And
now you came here from Ole Miss. How long were you at Ole Miss, and how did you end up making the transition to come here to Troy?
Sure, I was at Ole Miss for almost 9.5 years. And started there as the associate AD for finance, really kind of in that background. My background is as a CPA. Many years ago I was in public practice, but evolved in that position over the 9.5 years and spent the last 3 years as the number 2 administrator in athletics. And you know, when the opportunity came about at Troy, there were several things that were very attractive about it to me. One, the opportunity obviously to become an athletic director at the Division I level, and you know, there are only 124 of those in the country, so very blessed to get that opportunity. And then just the fit of Troy. You know, the size of the community of Troy is within about 200 of what Oxford is, so I'm used to a smaller community that literally revolves around the university. Being an Alabama native, I was born and raised in Mobile, so the opportunity to come back home per se. And the people at Troy, you know, starting with Dr. Hawkins and through the folks in athletics, the coaches and staff, you know, after doing a little background work on some folks, it kept coming back to the people, and it's very much a family unit. And I think the opportunity, I think we sit on a gold mine here at Troy, not just in athletics, but as the university as a whole. And I think there's a lot of opportunity for us to make noise and be successful and win championships, not just in the Sun Belt Conference, but on a national scale.
And so what are your goals? Obviously, there you talk about a little lofty goal there for the university, but sure. Personal goals, what are you trying to accomplish now in your position?
Sure, there are a lot of things out there that I have on the laundry list, many of which involve two things. A lot of people say, hey, there's two things that make an athletic director good, and that's dollars and cents. Obviously, revenue generation is going to be key to everything that we do. But as I told all of our head coaches and our staff, I feel that my job and our administration's job is to provide the resources necessary to make our student athletes and our coaches successful, both on the field of play and in the classroom and in the development of their personal lives as well. So, you know, some fundraising efforts, obviously, athletics, college athletics at the top level is an arms race. If somebody tells you it's not, they're kidding themselves, because you've got to have that wow factor. I talked about that in my press conference, and to attract the brightest and best 17, 18-year-old prospects, regardless of the sport, you've got to have that wow factor. It's got to be something they've got to come to and say, man, I want to be involved in this program. Obviously, Trojan Arena has that. You know, our facilities, top to bottom, are very, very nice. You know, Veteran Stadium, baseball complex. We've got some pieces of work to do in various areas. Obviously, the North End Zone project in football is a high-level priority, along with some other things, you know, in closing at least 2, probably 3 or 4 of our tennis courts so that we have the ability to play an indoor match, some improvements in Melanie's softball facility, and some others here and there. But, those capital projects are going to be very key. And then building a financial model for future success of Troy to be able to allow athletics, I won't say to be totally self-sustaining, because obviously we've got to have the student fees and some help from the university, but to grow our own sources of revenues, whether that be through ticket sales and fundraising opportunities with contracts such as our multimedia rights and sponsorship contract, our shoe and apparel contract. So there's a lot of areas that there's opportunity there.
Well, it sounds like there's a lot of work for you in the future, and know you're excited, and the Troy's excited to have you here. And once again, thanks for being here.
Great, thanks for having me. We're excited as well, and look forward to meeting everyone in the coming days.
Well, thank you.